Hey, good friends, welcome, new subscribers. I'm Brian from Apex Detail. You guys send me wonderful questions, and I'm trying to get to all of them. Running down the list, checking them off, pumping out videos, trying to answer them as fast as I can. If you haven't seen your video, be patient, it will come. One of the questions, after I clean and prepare leather and vinyl, can I just protect it if I don't want to use a professional coating with a quick detailer or any of those new hot Sio2 spray coatings that are out on the market today? Well, you can, but I don't recommend it because you got to look at it this way. The leather's going to take on the properties of whatever you put on there. If you put on a quick detailer, some of them have, oh my gosh, carnauba, polymers, the SiO2 spray coatings. Who knows what they have, but they're going to have a little bit of silica in there. So they're going to make your leather look a little bit shiny, glossy, and it'll give it really a little bit of a sheen. You want your leather to look and feel natural when it's protected. So if I'm not using a professional coating, I use IGL leather. Gyeon Leather Shield is also another incredible product for that. But when I'm not using that, I use something like Gyeon Leather Coat. Now this is just a spray on wipe off. And all you need is this to get the job done, a microfiber applicator or foam, and a microfiber to knock down any high spots after it's applied. So we're going to head out into the shop. I'm going to show you how I both prepare and coat and protect leather or vinyl when I'm not using a professional coating. Let's get started. Gyeon Leather Coat is your next level of protection right below a professional ceramic coating when it comes to leather and vinyl. I usually get it in this 120 milliliter bottle. It's only $12.99, and this lasts a long time because a little bit truly does go a long way. Preparation is key when using this, so we're going to do thorough cleaning, and this here is the seat and a little pack that's attached to it that has already been cleaned and protected. You can see it has dried. It looks natural. It also feels natural. It's protected from whatever Mother Nature can throw at it. So when I clean leather or vinyl, I like to use the Sonax leather cleaner. It comes out, it's a foamer, and I'll use it one of many ways, really. I have a soft detail brush here that I could use to get around stitching and some of the, in and around some of the intricate designs that are on leather. And then before it dries, even though the Sonax cleaner is very effective, you have to keep an eye on it. It starts to dry and flash rather quickly because it's more of a foam, and make sure you keep an eye on that and start to mop it up or wipe it off before it dries once again. If it does, no big deal. All you have to do is re-wet it with, mist it with a little bit of water. It reactivates and you can wipe it off properly. I'll also just spray it into a microfiber towel and work it in that way to remove dirt. I want to quick talk about conditioners because I get a lot of questions on conditioners for leather. Now, there are many types of leathers for automobiles. Even though I'm working on leather here from a motorcycle, it's rather similar in the aspect that it does have a top coat. And before we go any further, this is another tool I use. It is a soft brush attachment for the dual action polisher I use for leather on larger flat pieces. But to get back to what I was saying, there are many different types of leather. You have just a few examples: Buffalino, Cricket, Kodiak, Molino. You have Velvet Vienna, Falcona, Volterra, and then there's the porous aniline leather and many, many more. Now, if it's natural but has the top coat, a conditioner will do nothing. You might as well forget about it, or if you have it, give it away or throw it in the trash. All it will do is transfer back up into your clothes when you sit back in the car, because it will just sit on top of that top coat. It will be able to penetrate around stitches and seams, or if the top coat has worn that thin, well then it's important maybe to keep a conditioner around, but I don't have any. I don't use them. They are useless to me. Now, pure aniline isn't used a lot today anymore. It's more of a semi-aniline, and that's used in your higher-end vehicles. But the most common leather in today's automobiles or vehicles is pigmented leather. That usually has a top coat, so cleaning it with a dedicated leather cleaner is a good idea. You can use other stuff like APCs and all-purpose cleaners, but they will or could leave a film on top or a residue, and then you have to clean that off. So just use a dedicated cleaner such as the Sonax or whatever you're into, and you'll be good to go. Move on to the next step. As you can see here, it is perfectly clean. It looks really good as is now before any protection at all. So we can move on to the next step. And just a quick update before we do move on. This tool here, and I'm going to put a link to the video I did as a showcase. I purchased about a year ago, and it was quite expensive for just a foam block with a little bit of felt on it at about 24 bucks at that time. But I'll tell you, this thing has lasted over a year. Only around the edges towards the front of the tool is it worn, and the fabric is quite thin. But other than that, it's still a useful tool and great for cleaning leather, vinyl, or even plastic that is textured. Now, I want to talk about the top coat for most modern leather these days. Not only is it a layer of protection, but also provides color and some tint and UVA, UVB protection. And you want to be careful with that layer. You don't want to get too aggressive, and even though I do have some videos showing using really aggressive tools, I do have to stress to be careful with that layer. When it comes to protection, most of the time I'm going to use a professional coating such as that, and we're going to move that to the side because some aren't comfortable with those types of coatings, so we'll use this spray coating right here. This is Q2 Leather Coat, and all you need is the coating itself, a microfiber or foam applicator, and a towel to mop up or level off any high spots. When the applicator is dry, 4 or 5 squirts onto it will get it moist enough to then start to transfer onto the leather itself. Massage it in, especially in perforated or areas that have intricate designs. Massage that in, circular motions. Make sure you work that down into the valleys of the leather. Getting right back to leather's protection and its top coat, there is no uniform thickness measurement for what they put on there. So to give you an example, if you have leather that feels real stiff like vinyl, well, you have a real thick top coat layer, and you know there you can really work it and you have plenty of protection. If you have leather that feels more natural or subtle to the touch, well, that has a real thin layer of protection on there, so really be careful. Why isn't there a uniform layer of thickness for that protection? Well, look at it this way. In your cheaper cars, they use a thicker layer of the top coat to hide imperfections. And in your higher end cars with a more expensive leather and your more delicate materials, they're going to use a thin layer because they really don't have that much to hide, and they're going to save on material. They're cheap. They want to keep money. They want to keep that dough in their pocket, so they're not going to use quite as much material. Keeping your leather clean from new or in between coatings it's paramount if you want it to last. Dirt in between seams, especially when you're sliding in and out of the car, will make them rub together, and that will rub that coating off and really give some wear and tear to the leather. Also, if it starts to get shiny, that is normally body oils. Body oils are acidic, and that is also going to wear your top coat thin. So keep it clean. Semi-aniline leather in the higher end cars, it's nearly identical when we're talking about caring for it. But remember, the coating is very thin. They're not worried about hiding any kind of imperfection. The leather underneath it is dyed, so it's going to be clear and it's going to be thin. That's the way they save money. So a nice water-based cleaner is going to be, it's probably going to be your go-to when it comes to cleaning and caring for that leather. Cure time for this particular product is 12 hours before you could take it out and let it get wet. When it comes to high spots, just take a microfiber just like this, and you can knock those high spots down. It's not necessary. You could have left that dry, and in 12 hours, those would have leveled off themselves and cured, and you wouldn't have known they were there. Just out of habit, I'll go ahead and knock those high spots down and also wipe down any areas that I didn't want any cleaner or coating to come in contact with. And speaking of cure time, before I leave the shop for the evening, this has been after 8 hours. So we still have some cure time to go, but I wanted to show you it cures with a natural look and feel to it. No gloss, no sheen whatsoever. Let's talk about layering for a minute here. When it comes to waxes, polymer sealants, spray coatings, or coatings themselves, professional coatings, I'm going to lay down 2 layers or 2 coats. When you go and paint your fence, do you just put 1 layer of paint and walk away and call it a day? Well, some might, but it's really not, you're not going to get the most out of it. A lot of material or paint's going to be too thin to cover in 1 coat. A lot of materials that you're applying to, they absorb the product. So a minimum of 2 coatings or layers will give you maximum protection. You'll take notice I'm laying down the second coat rather quickly. It does have a foundation coat, so this second layer, you don't have to be quite as tedious laying it down. Okay, before I finish coating all of these pieces, let's take a look at the bag on the left has been cleaned and protected, and the bag on the right we haven't touched yet. The protected bag has a deeper, richer color to it, a nicer look, and you could take it out and whatever Mother Nature throws at it, it will put up with. Just wanted to quick show you what the kit looked like all put together. Has a uniform color and look to it, and it's ready to go. For the final thoughts segment of the video, can you use detailers and spray sealants to protect leather? Well, I guess you can. I really wouldn't recommend it unless you don't mind a sheen or shine to your natural leather. I would more go with something like this that will cure and dry, looking natural, feeling natural. And to tell you, this actually has a decent scent to it. My female customers enjoy it because it has the combination of leather and lavender, and it sticks around inside the car for a few days. So you saw my preparation, and just like any other detailing product, preparation is key when looking for durability or just overall a decent look out of the product. So preparation's key. Don't forget about that. Don't cut that short. And when it comes to cure time, allow the proper cure time. This here I let go for about 12 hours. The professional coatings I'll let cure for 24 hours. So if you don't have any questions, this has been Brian from Apex Detail. I'll catch you guys in the next video.